Hey everybody, welcome to episode 12 of the ADV podcast, the first official showcase episode. Hey look, my deodorant.
I'm sorry, what?
I tried to find this for like a month.
We're never going to start this podcast, dude.
Jesus Christ. And on that deliciously smelling note, everybody, welcome to the episode. I can't talk. That's usually where we do the intros music. Everybody, this is your host, Cajun. Welcome, StupidMassive, Unbelievable Games Company this week, as he pitches and showcases his episode, Brekut.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Dude, go ahead and give us a quick description of your game.
Sure. Brekut is an arcade game, but it's also a narrative game, and it's kind of a reflection on the idea of computers. Computers are magic, like a sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And it's it's a block breaking game, and it revolves around the idea that like in Breakout, like in Atari's Breakout, you can knock down a block from the top row, but your pal doesn't break apart when it hits the ball. Instead, both sides fall apart when they hit the ball, and you have to catch blocks to build up your paddle again, and in order to complete a round. And every time you complete a round, you're rewarded with a little bit of narrative, a little bit of story.
So it really is just more than a reskin of Breakout. It actually is a couple of unique game mechanics on top of the traditional game. Yep.
And actually, it started that way when I originally designed the game for a local game jam, which it won. And I got a little bit of money for that. And
you lucky bastard.
Yeah, I know, right? That was pretty sick. The money I got from that.
Hold
on. Yep.
Repeat that because you just broke out.
Oh, sorry.
Broke out. Yeah. That wasn't intentional, I promise.
So the money I got from that went right into an Xbox. I didn't really think about it after that. But I don't know when it started to occur to me. I think maybe when I took it to GMGF in October of 2015. I think that's when I realized that I could develop it out more. I could add more levels. I could add more in general to the whole product. And I wasn't working on a big project at the time, so I decided to just start going. And that was a year ago. A year later, here we are. I'm pretty close to 1.0. And I'm really nervous about it.
Dude, I don't blame you about me being nervous about the game launch because, even when I was putting my first demos, are people going to like this? But you are in rare form of, this is a solid game. This really is.
Thank you. It means a lot. And I'm really hoping people will see that, the outside world will see that as well. So it's been difficult because I live outside of Burlington, and we don't really have a huge local tech community. So what I've been doing is mostly marketing through Twitter and just relying on Twitter bots to repost what I post, and hoping someone will catch on and like listen into what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's most of us, quite honestly. Just use and abuse the bots that are out there.
It's that's what I've noticed. I kind of feel like it's screaming into the void. There's just so many games.
Yeah, but when we were doing the rehearsal last night, you discovered that we have a lot of the same people in our circles. And I'm actually surprised that we hadn't connected before.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising. Like, let's see, Snout Up and Turtle Wizard.
Vida.
Yeah, Vida, Jupiter. Lots of people.
Oh, yeah. What, a third? Close to half my guess, at least. So.
Yeah.
But getting back to your stuff, since this is a short episode for you, man, and you will be coming on later, we can have a little bit more time with that one next month. But tell us about Venture.
So in Brickhoot, there is a hidden game called Venture. Venture is more or less an Easter egg right now. When you start the game, you hit Control-C. It'll cancel the load. And if you start typing, it'll type in a command for you that'll launch a game called Venture. And it's inspired by Adventure on the 2600. In fact, the whole game really is inspired by the artistic stylings of the Atari 2600 and the Commodore 64, games like that. So it's overall, it's been an interesting project because I have to really step outside of my mind, because these aren't things I grew up with. These are things I have to research and really get into. So I've got tons of Atari paraphernalia around my house. Like I'm looking across the room right now. I've got an Atari flashback console, and I've also got the I've got an Atari flashback handheld that I've been trying to load custom ROMs on.
Any luck with that?
Any luck? No, I haven't found any ROMs that particularly stuck out to me. It seems like that community is. I would think that it would be the perfect place for like art games, but it seems a lot of people are making action games, and I was really surprised by that.
So that brings us to Grace, which is you kind of about altered history or historical fiction. But is it a short story or an article?
Yeah, it's meant to be an outline of the history leading up to the system that Brickhoot is developed for, the VIC-30, which is a fake computer. So the idea is that in 1985, when Commodore is starting to fall apart, sort of the start of the decline, they had to find a new product to revitalize their business. So they come across this strange engineering company called Exalt, and they build a computer that's incredibly cheap to manufacture and has really high resolution. It's very fast, and they're able to produce it for really cheap and very quickly. So they end up doing that, and it puts Commodore at the top of the market, and to the point where they even basically, in our world, we have Windows and Apple, but in this world, there's Commodore. And there's
literally no second company. It's just them.
It's pretty much just Commodore. They're running the whole. It's almost a monopoly, yeah. And so in the game, there's more historical elements as well. You have to put the pieces together, though, and you'll have all the clues. You might finish the game and still have questions, but you will have all the clues to put the pieces together to get the final picture of what exactly is going on here. And that may even inform you on the decisions you have to make in the game.
So, is the changelog, because you have changelog notes on your itch.io page. Is that some of the additional clues, or is that really just kind of a fun little supplemental for anyone who actually goes through and reads that?
So the changelog is supposed to be. It's supposed to be more of a. It is supplemental. Yeah, it's definitely part of the story, but it's not as integral as what happens in the game. It's not as important as the Grace article. It's really just an add-on. It's the story of a developer who's, having really strange stuff happen to him, and he doesn't have any support. He's kind of stuck. He really has to just finish remastering this game, and it's kind of a tragic tale. And I really hope people really want to check that out and say, "Hey, I want to give this game a try." It's meant to draw people in more than anything.
I've run over some of this quite obviously doing research for the show, but I haven't gotten to really dig into it and spend a lot of time on it, just because of various things going on right now. But dude, I can't wait to really, be able to play the finished game and start putting all these clues together myself. Did it lead to an ultimate, kind of mystery at the end, or?
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to rationalize the ending of the game. We'll be asked to do something, you'll have to either figure out or be asked to do something very strange with your game, with your computer. And I think that might throw a few people off. I think a lot of people won't finish the game because of that. And
you can tell us to turn our monitors upside down or something, right?
Oh no, nothing like that. I can't really reveal too much because it's gonna be worth getting to, and it's actually gonna be a fairly nuanced choice between actions to take, and you'll have to find out how to get. I think I'm gonna have 3 different endings. You'll have to try really hard to find the alternate endings. But it's all the clues are there, so you just got to put the pieces together to get to the end.
So you've got some real replay value in this.
Yeah, or at least the very end. Yep. The replay value is fairly high for the ending. So I see myself in the future releasing perhaps an arcade version of Breakroot that's just the block-breaking gameplay, not any of the story elements. Just having a lot of levels and letting people submit their own, and I can put them into the game. Something like that, perhaps just part of the Breakroot package.
Focusing more on just the breakout part of it.
Yep, just the game, and something like that down the line. So there could be a high score counter, or there could be a time trial kind of thing. There's a lot of directions I could go in it, but that's all in the far future. I think as I'm done making Breakroot, I'm going to want to get started on a new project as quickly as possible, because after a year of working on this one project, it gets pretty grating.
Yeah, I can believe it, man.
So I took a break for about a month while I was moving, and now that I'm moved in, everything is getting set up. Once I'm all set up, I'm gonna finish the game, have a 1.0 by late January, get the game on green light. Hopefully I'll get green lit, and then from there push to Steam. It'll be available on itch.io before Steam, of course, because I like to stay loyal to my roots.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like to think so.
For anyone that's listening, you can actually get a demo of Breakroot on his itch.io page, which will be in the description.
Yeah, the
But,
demo is called Shroot.